What's going on, guys? This is Mr. DeLORIan here. Welcome back to a brand new video. And today what I want to talk about is the latest sneak peek we got for The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 16. So a couple nights ago, they aired a quick episode of Talking Dead. It was a preview special for each show, and we got some clips, trailers, and sneak peeks for each show, like, you know, The Walking Dead, The Walking Dead World Beyond, and Fear the Walking Dead. And we got this awesome sneak peek for the Season 10 finale of The Walking Dead. And when I say awesome, I mean awesome, terrifying, and just really cool, because it's full of clips that we've never seen before. Mainly stuff that goes on inside the hospital or the tower and inside the Horde. But before we do hop into this, I'll make sure to link the sneak peek down below so you guys can go check it out too, which I highly recommend since it is really cool. So early on in the sneak peek, we see Daryl, Kelly, and Beta all walking through the Horde, and I thought this was awesome also, because I don't think we've ever seen, besides maybe some, like, you know, promo pictures, we have not seen any of our group inside the Horde yet. Like I said, I think the last video I did on the promo pictures, I think we saw some of, like, you know, the people inside the, like, you know, Horde and everything, like Daryl and Kelly walking past someone getting devoured and just, like, eaten alive. But I don't think we've ever gotten any footage of them inside, like, you know, the Horde, so this was really cool to see, especially Beta, because, you know, he's, like, on the pretty much the hunt for anyone that's from our group, you know, that's inside the Horde. And you can actually see Daryl, weirdly enough, putting his head down, and I think, like, looking around, but putting his head down, and that's probably mainly to obviously not get spotted by, like, you know, like, any whispers, because, you know, the walkers are kind of just, like, you know, they see, like, you know, the gut covered jack, and they're kind of like, oh, they're one of us. But, you know, the whispers, if they see someone that looks like, you know, like, somewhat alive, they're gonna come right at, like, you know, Daryl and stab him, which obviously he's not gonna die, so he's gonna make it through the Horde. But I do wonder what the conflict's gonna be like inside the Horde, because in one of those promo pictures from the last video I did on the promo pictures, we did see someone getting, like, devoured in front of Kelly and Daryl. And in the picture with Kelly, you can see that, like, you know, she's, like, you know, a bit nervous and everything. I think in, like, the Kelly shot, we can't see her following behind Daryl, because obviously I think Kelly and Daryl are in their own group, because, like, Gabriel said, oh, like, in our first scene for, like, you know, episode 16, Gabriel did say, like, you know, two groups or two people in each group. And obviously I think Kelly's with Daryl, and you can see Daryl mainly in front of Kelly for, like, a little bit if you really slow the clip down. But in another one of the shots, you can see, like, the gigantic Horde and everything coming, like, you know, not even near the hospital, which I thought was very weird about this clip. Like, at first I was like, there's no way that they're actually leaving the hospital, because what reason would that be for and everything? But weirdly enough, it looks like all the walkers in the Horde are walking away from the hospital and towards the forest, which I'm not 100% like sure why, since this clip will mainly take part, like, you know, place in, I think, the first, like, maybe 10 to 15 minutes of the episode, since obviously we have the group, like, you know, getting back to the hospital, the tower and everything, them talking and going over their plan of everyone, like, you know, having their own talks, and then they'll go out into the Horde. But weirdly enough, like, I think we, you know, one of the scenes that we did get for, like, you know, the episode, I think a week or two ago, we did hear Luke and, like, you know, the group discussing a plan to get to, like, a wagon and everything, which obviously, like, we did see in the promo pictures, the wagon had, like, tons of speakers on it, possible explosives, and I think we could actually see a wagon right here, which obviously that's where our group is trying to get to and everything, because obviously there's lots of people in our group going out to the Horde to get to this wagon, because I think, like Gabriel mentioned, or Daryl, or, like, you know, I think Luke, is that there's gonna be people carrying cargo and people, like, you know, protecting the people carrying the cargo. And obviously the cargo is stuff like, you know, explosives, speakers, or maybe other things to get to the wagon. And yet again, I think we can see the wagon right here, so maybe it's showing, like, you know, a group, like, you know, maybe just getting towards, like, you know, the wagon and everything, and that's why all the walkers are starting to head towards the wagon, is because they start hearing, like, noises. Because, like mentioned in that scene also that we got, like, you know, a week or two ago, is that, like, you know, they said they needed to connect the wires, like, you know, to the wagon. So I do wonder if they connected the wire and that, like, is playing noises through, and that's why, like, you know, all the walkers are moving towards, like, you know, the forest. But in the next sequence, we do get Gabriel, Lydia, Diane, I think her name is, Rachel from Oceanside, and we do see, I forgot what his name is, but he's from Alexandria, and they're all sitting here mainly, like, you know, looking over our group and everything, making sure that they get to, like, you know, the wagon and everything, and, like, you know, kind of just trying to spot whispers and everything to take them out before they get to, like, you know, the people, or, you know, our people inside the Horde and everything, like, carrying the cargo and stuff like that, just trying to protect our group and just look out. Gabriel's kind of looking out with, like, binoculars and everything, and he kind of looks towards Lydia, and weirdly enough, Lydia says Beta knows that they're in the Horde and everything, like, obviously Daryl and, like, all these other people in the Horde, and maybe she's referring to the fact that the walkers are now starting to move, like, you know, away from there and everything, and Beta knows that's them leading, like, you know, the Horde away and everything inside the Horde. So I wonder if that's what, like, you know, she's, like, talking about. Beta knows that they're leading the Horde away and that they're inside and everything, and that's, like, you know, what Gabriel and, like, Lydia are talking about when they're, like, looking out towards the Horde, and then they look at each other. But then Rachel says she pretty much sees one of them, and obviously, like, she doesn't know if it's a walker or, like, you know, a walker, a whisper, or one of our people. So Gabriel tells her, like, you know, not to shoot. And what's weird, really weird and everything, is that, like, you know, first scene that we did see, like, a week or two ago is that I think Rachel was one of the ones that was going to go into the Horde with Patrice. But, like, you know, she said she wouldn't go out if Lydia was going and everything. But what's very weird is Lydia wasn't going and everything. She didn't go and everything since she's here in the tower, but she's still here. And obviously, since, like, a lot of people are, like, thinking that, like, you know, Patrice is going to die and everything, since we don't see her in any other, like, you know, promo images past the Horde, like, you know, from the hospital, getting out to the Horde and seeing her on the other side, a lot of people are suspecting that she dies. And, like, you know, since they're both from the community, like, you know, of Oceanside, and since they're very close with each other and everything, obviously Rachel's gonna see Patrice get stabbed or, like, you know, something happen to her and she's gonna get torn apart. So that's probably gonna fuck her up in some sort of way. But as Lydia and Gabriel looking out and everything, they hear this gigantic, like, explosion and everything, and obviously Judith, like, everyone's, like, looking and everything, because we hear this gigantic explosion, screams and everything coming from, like, you know, around the hospital or tower somewhere. And we see Judith run towards, like, the stairwell and everything, and looks down towards, like, you know, whatever's coming up the stairs. And we do see flames and, like, just orange and tons of fire down there, and we get to see this, I think, whisper. I had a hard time telling at first, but I know it's a whisper coming, like, you know, crawling up the stairs for dear life. And we can see a ton of, like, bodies and body parts and splatter blood all against, like, the walls, so you know, like, you know, explosion or something fucking massive happened and went off. And this whisper has, like, half a face, because the other side, I'm assuming, got blown off by explosives. And at first I was like, are the whispers setting off fires and everything? This was one of the victims from our group that got hit and everything. But then you look in front of this whisper and everything, and you see a wire, so I'm assuming Daryl and the others set up traps and everything, like, you know, for when the whispers do start coming up the stairwells and everything, to, like, make sure that they don't get up there and that they get exploded and everything before they do get up. But this whisper looks fucking terrifying, man. Like, he looks badass and everything, but terrifying. And I think you can actually see that the whisper looks right at Judith, and that's just, like, it's awesome but terrifying at the same time, because Judith probably is very terrified about that. I think you can even see something sticking out of the whisper's eye, which is very weird. And you can also see a whisper coming up, like, you know, up behind this whisper and everything. I'm assuming that this whisper didn't get caught in, like, you know, the blast radius of whatever happened, because you can see other bodies lying on the floor, possibly walkers and other whispers behind this, like, you know, fucking half-faced whisper that looks like Two-Face from the Batman Dark Knight, or Two-Faced from Dark Knight and everything. I think I said half-faced or whatever. But after Judith sees this and I think she runs back into, like, you know, the hallway, the section that Gabriel, like, you know, the others are in, and she closes the door. And this is the scene that we've seen in so many trailers, where all of them come running up behind Judith and they're staring down at this door. And now we all know why everyone's running towards the door and everything, and why Judith's standing there is like absolute, like, terrified. And it's because, like, you know, when she even says and everything that they're coming up, like, the whispers are coming up the stairs. And obviously, like, you know, the whispers, like, you know, the whisper behind that other, like, blown up whisper and anything is coming up. So I'm assuming that's one of the whispers that are gonna run at Gabriel, and obviously Gabriel's gonna tell Judith, like, you know, and all the other people to run back and everything. That's when they're gonna come through the door and challenge Gabriel and everything. But this was all around a very cool sneak peek. Tons of really cool things, like our first time seeing people inside the Horde, especially seeing Daryl, Kelly, and Beta in the Horde. Like, even, like, you know, Daryl and Kelly was, like, very cool, because we haven't seen them inside the Horde besides, like, you know, images only, not any video. Like, we've seen Beta inside the Horde before with other sneak peeks and everything, but we've never seen Kelly or Daryl, like, you know, in video. So that was very cool and everything, especially, like, you know, how they moved through the Horde, and seeing all of them inside the tower and everything, looking out over, like, you know, the Horde and everything was very cool, especially, like, you know, all the pretty cool lines of dialogue and everything, like Lydia saying, like, you know, Beta knows that, like, you know, they're in there. And like I said, I still wonder why the walkers and the Horde are going away from the hospital and towards the forest. I could swear it's because they got, like, you know, the cart, or like you know, connected some wires, or threw some bombs even, maybe, and anything, or, like, you know, hooked up a speaker to get the, like, you know, the Horde to start going away from the hospital. But, you know, like, you know, Beta and the other whispers are gonna be on the hunt to, like, you know, see why the, like, you know, the walkers are going away from the hospital. And also, I do wonder what's gonna happen with, like, you know, like, after that explosion goes off, which, like I said, fucking amazing and terrifying. Anything to see that whisper, like, you know, half-faced and everything, that was awesome. But I do wonder what's gonna happen after that, because, like I said, we did see a whisper coming up the stairwell and everything. I'm assuming Gabriel's gonna tell him to run as soon as the whispers do start coming up and everything. He's gonna point his shotgun at the door, and then we're pretty much gonna get, like, you know, Gabriel versus the whispers, and whatever happens after that happens, because we don't know what's gonna happen to him yet. But all around, this was a very, very cool sneak peek and everything. Definitely make sure to leave your thoughts down below and everything of what you guys did think of the sneak peek. Make sure to leave your answers to the questions that I brought up in this video and everything. Like, why do you think the Horde's going away? Who do you think is gonna die in the Horde? Like, you know, what's your opinions on, like, you know, the whole, like, you know, seeing Daryl and Kelly? Do you guys think it's very cool? Because I personally think it's awesome. And what do you mainly think is gonna go on inside the tower between, like, you know, Gabriel, Judith, the Whispers, and everything? And did you guys think that that massive explosion with the Whisper and everything was very cool? Because, like I said, awesome. But that was all for today and everything. Like I said, I will make sure to link this teaser down below or the more so sneak peek down below in the description, so you guys go check it out for yourselves and, like, you know, go check it out too. Because, like I said, I highly recommend it since it's very cool with all, like, you know, the amazing and, like, you know, just cool shots and sequences happening inside the sneak peek. And also, The Walking Dead premieres in a week from, like, you know, this Sunday and everything, pretty much, which is awesome. I'm very excited for that because it's gonna be a huge event, like, you know, on Sunday night at 9 p.m. I honestly cannot wait for it and everything, to see the final showdown between, like, you know, the Whisper War, and just see, like, you know, all of the trailers and sneak peeks and clips and everything all now put together and, like, you know, onto the screen and everything, to see it all play out, like, you know, all together. That would be very cool. But yeah, like I said, that was all for today and everything. Make sure to leave your thoughts down below on, like, you know, the sneak peek and everything. Did you guys think it was cool? And yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more of the latest in the Walking Dead universe and more breakdowns like this and everything, which there will be and everything, since there are some stuff that I still have to catch up on breaking down and everything, because we did get some extra sneak peeks and anything I haven't taken a look at yet and everything, but I will make sure to. And yeah, but I see you guys all later and everything. Peace, my amigos, and peace out.